Okay, so today is kind of a big day because it could be the day I get my first hero that we actually buy, or it could be the day I get my first event card, or it could even maybe be both. Certainly at the beginning of next month, once you get the end of season rewards, I would have enough for both because we have such an insane surplus of gems, which, again, I could use at any time. This is the sort of thing even I was saying that I wouldn't mind getting something high cost for the zombies. It's +1/+1 the zombie is destroyed. Like, it's okay. I'm not crazy about it, but I think this would be the first one, right, that I ever would have bought. I can't decide. I was kind of more in the mindset of I want to get my first hero card ever. Party Like a Champion Birthdays Bundle. We've been sort of spoiled by some of these special packs they put on the shop, though, because, okay, none of these are going to give me 100, although you could maybe re-roll it into that. It has been annoying with how long we've played this and we've never gotten a hero. Party Like a Champion, you don't have to fucking spam me with that shit. Even for a game that has so few things in it, like, you know, number of cards or number of promotions and packs like that. It's not like Duel Links where it's going to spam you with a million things out of the gate, but it still tries to spam you with the same one over and over. That's when you can't even do. I think I will actually buy that guy because we'll still have 400 left. So I could still save up for, you know, getting another event card later. I was almost hoping it would be like Bad Moon Rising for the sake of Halloween, right? But it can't be because we're already there, right? Next week would be, or maybe starting next week would be. So I'll still have that in my back pocket. Hero Quest, don't really care. Rust Bolt, people really like. If you were going to get it, you may as well get it like this, right? Because you can buy it for 750 base in your card collection or whatever, but it's not worth it because you won't get anything extra maybe with it, I guess. And I could also buy like the 10. It would be the first time ever 10+1, which I'm not even saying that's bad value, but for a free to play new player, it wouldn't be worth it to wait that long, right? Because you want these perpetual gradual upgrades. You want to feel like you're improving your collection every episode and stuff, or every time playing. Not everybody is doing it as like a series like that, but so I think I will actually buy that because the zombies need some top end stuff, which is why I'm going to get a 5-mana card. But if you look at the event cards, I'll hold off on the hero, although again, after the end of season rewards, I could theoretically get it, or we'll see what the event card is next week. I was saying like anything 5 and up I could get, and we're obviously never going to get, as long as I live, the fucking Bad Moon Rising. It's alive, it's alive. Okay, strictly speaking, it's not alive. It's not a bad card. I mean, 5 mana, 5/7. Even with no effect, it's just fine. Like, we don't have enough cards like that. Or in before we'll get it, and nobody can even use it of what I have. But no, you have, like, every. So that's actually my first event card that I ever got, I think. It must be, right? They kept talking about it and I kept thinking about it. I could actually get another one too, but of course I won't do that. The people always were warning me off of that, like don't spend 500 gems, it's not worth it. But I can't get it any other way because I'm not going to play enough, you know, in these short sessions to do it. And again, my only criteria was just very singular with so who can even use it? Infinity can use it, but not the Smash. It almost seems like a Smash kind of card, doesn't it? Huh. Well, whatever. I'm happy with it either way. It's sort of a late game finisher for a late game finisher for the, you know, aggro of Infinity. We see that different sort of color icon to it as well. What is like a high cost card? Yeah, like it'll like look at the top end value that we have here. 5 mana 5/5, 5 mana 5/6, 5 mana 3/4. That's not because, oh, it's an aggro deck and I'm doing that strategically. It's because I don't have anything else, period. I feel like I never use the fire, and I never like him because he's annoying with the flip effect. Maybe I'll go without that. We don't really have anything else to change or adjust. And so I'm going to try to get to rank 25, right? Because the season's about to be over, if I'm not mistaken. So we once again botch it where we start with a handicap of starting at rank 5 at the beginning of the month. But then I can't use that to carry me to rank 25. But we better get at least to rank 20. Let's see. When does it, where does it even say when it ends? Or maybe it's not going, I don't get it. It would have to end today, wouldn't it? So yeah, let's actually give Infinity the precedent here. See if we can play the event card. Yeah, rank 20 should be almost a necessity. If I don't get that, I should have to delete my account or just end the series and stop playing. Yeah, we always want to have around 500 though, so I can make a snap decision like that. You know, where, oh, I just feel like buying something, a pack off the shop or some special thing. Okay, that's actually not a bad hand. I don't even mind keeping that, but there's really no point. Yeah, this you just got to play full aggro face roll style. Let's see how good of a streak we can go on. That's fine with me too. It doesn't that just blow the little 2/1/1 mushrooms out of the water, like literally, because these can go in the water and those can't. But there's another hero card that does the exact same thing. Like, there are a lot of inconsistencies in the game like that, and the way that maybe people would justify them is to say like, oh well, like the Beta-Carrotina versus the raw zombie, right? They're so wildly inconsistent with their value that it's not even like power creep. It's just like the zombies get boned there. So it's just fair to have a totally bullshit overpowered card like Beta-Carrotina just because you happen to be the plants, and that makes it okay. That one I almost don't even want to do at all. Yeah, because Deadly is pretty valuable here. Either saving up for some crazy combo or he just doesn't have jack shit. And I could say the same thing now, but he's getting way too low to probably do anything about it. Not even that I like aggro decks where I'm trying to play like that, but I'm, you know, you're still kind of forced to. And my collection is actually decent now. If I gave it like a letter score, I'll give myself a letter score for like how well have I played throughout the series. Probably like a C or like a B minus. Like, I've obviously missed lethal a few times and fucked up, but as far as my collection, it's probably like a C or maybe even a B now, just with some of the good cards that we have. The only thing we're missing is like a full-on synergy where I'm able to basically not only have decent quality cards, which for the most part I at least have some now, but you have like a full synergy between pirates or whatever, science zombies or this or that. I have a few cards that fit into that, like sports zombies or whatever, pirates and stuff. What's the other one? Pets and whatnot, but I don't have enough of them, so I kind of mix them together, or it's not quite good enough. Yeah, that'll actually kill the plants. So this guy had the most pathetic deck I've ever seen that you would almost expect from bronze rank 9, but what could he get there that would even save him as Green Shadow? Oh shit, it could bounce the 3/1, which it doesn't. Wait, but wait, oh, it didn't hurt it because he absorbed it. How convenient for him. What the fuck? Just do it like that. I mean, you really shouldn't have a problem here. That was actually pretty good. Yeah, it's like we're playing Marvel Snap. The game ends by turn 6. But at least even this is more organic. Literally, because it involves plants. But I mean, you know, that is such a dumb decision. I'm going to play that game again one day, and then I'll realize they still have that system in there. Like, nobody ever asked for that shit, right? Nobody ever wanted, oh yeah, let's limit a card game to 6 turns only. Even if you are like a brain dead, whatever, phone, mobile game player and you want to do it like that, it's just, you know, it shouldn't be forced upon you. We're going to farm these bronze rank 9s all day today. 2, 3, 3, 3. That's almost too many 3s, but I guess it's okay. You don't really even want that. You want like a 1 cost or something else. I mean, hides in Gravestone, draw a card. Like, we will have plays here, but I don't have enough high cost cards to really justify holding back like that. You should just mulligan everything and, you know, mulligan 3s for 1s or whatever. What's the worst case? You're going to get one of my 3 5 cost cards in the whole deck. Played, gets +1/+1 if you do something. Morning Glory Dew. Okay, that can be a very strong card, and it would probably suit pretty well with this as well. Problem is sometimes with these dinky 1/1s, you kind of end up buffering their block meter too much, but then again, you can't fear that because you can't play around the block meter unless you're going like full bullseye or something. But you know, it's just going to be a case where you can't really do anything about it. You just have to accept that their block meter is going to get through. But usually you don't get through all 3 of them unless they have healing and stuff. You'll get through like the second one and then kill them before the third one triggers, is generally my experience. I'm fine with this. I could give less of a shit how much damage I take. We have 2 of those, which are ready to go, but I can't really do anything with it still. And that doesn't have any sort of interesting ongoing effect either. He'll trigger my block meter, which is okay. That's unfortunate. Yeah, they're going to have too much value in cycling here. That could be worth it, I guess, because there's nothing else really going on rather than do that shitty trade. This can be a great finisher card, too, which I just got this very recently as well. Yeah, Deadly. I mean, I would do it just to draw a card because I don't know how good the Deadly is really going to be either. This can technically hit face, which is part of the reason why I have it, but you know, there's a zombie in every lane, which is not always super likely to happen, but now this is a curved nightmare turn because you don't have the ability to actually do anything. Right? You can't do 2 things at once, so you're kind of just fucked. Yeah, if you can out-aggro me, I don't mind, but he's just going to out-value me more to the point. His Solar Flare is pretty good at aggro, too, but I don't know exactly what he's using. I beat like a rank 41 Solar Flare, dude. Or I think it was just rank 40. Taco Slayer, title earned. So that's okay. I can totally deal with this. All I have to do is fill up the board a bit. But again, even this won't be that effective in the context of... yeah, see, I won't be able to do that either. Let's just do that for now. That's okay. Or sometimes you get trapped with these 1/1s, right? You'll summon too many 1/1s and then they'll just ignore them and let it charge the block meter and not worry about it. But then, you know, they don't know whether you're going to have buffs or not, I guess. Destroy random zombie, make a 1/1. Okay. I could literally just use it with an actual removal card, of which I almost never use any of those. Their hand just kind of tells you the whole answer right there. I could just flip everything back to his hand. But the problem with that is it's not actually going to do anything for me because I don't have anything on the board. It almost seems like an appropriate turn to do it, though. Fuck it. I just won't do anything. Go ahead, summon something. I'll flip it back. It doesn't seem like that great value of a card, especially when you compare it to like a 9-mana 9/9 Zombot on top of the ability to... the way I guess you can measure it is like how much would it cost for him to play that stuff back? And the answer is obviously more than 7, but maybe not the greatest still. Or now if you had a second one, you could really set him up for failure because... Let's try to do it like this, and then we can always use the buff guy later. That was a very game-changing kind of play, but it was more of a defensive use of it than as a finisher. Yeah, actually, if you had more than one of those, that would be badass because you could do it on like back-to-back turns in a way that just totally takes the piss out of them, and you're not affecting your own board at all in doing that. So, like, really, how would you even play around that? Yeah. I have a full board of zombies, you have a full board, then I play that, flip everything back, then you play it again, then I flip it back. I'll just make a deck with like fucking 4 of those if I ever get them, of course. It's not up to me. But, let's see. Still not that big of a deal. If there are no zombies here, make a sunflower. Everything is actually okay with this for the most part. Just have to figure a way to, when hurt, make a swabby. I could just kill that fucking thing too. Right, like what if I just do that? Use your little thing, or I could hit him in the face with it. I could have done the buff, maybe. Under flower, you get strike through. It would be kind of cool to finish him off with that in such a way that, you know, it does double damage, and then you end up like fireballing him in the face for 6. Okay, the healing is a little bit annoying. Get rid of this, so he'll only pop the thing, hit me for... No, he'll actually kill me if I do that, though. Fuck, I almost just can't even do it. But I should just be able... I should just be about to kill it, because... Right, he would, he wouldn't get the effect off. I'm just gonna kill it first, because he didn't remove my guy. That's actually fine. We came very close to killing him, but I still think I'm going to lose. You summon a sunflower, not that big of a deal. This could be a little bit scary. Not much I can really do here, though. That's probably the best I can come up with, and just have to hope for the best. I don't have any spells or anything. It'd be pretty amazing if we actually still do win this, but he's going to get the block meter, too, to save his dumb ass. We still haven't seen the one we just got, I don't think, right? Now, wouldn't it have been better to kill the one on... Or I guess he couldn't have. Never mind. I just play something there and I'm dead. Yeah, that's all you would have to do. That was... Oh, shit. That might have actually saved me, though, inadvertently, from the effect of that. I didn't even realize. Oh, shit. Because, yeah, the chicken normally runs away from stuff, but then it had nowhere else to go, so it ends up actually playing defensively for once. So, whatever. We don't get to see that one, but I don't regret getting it at all. We aren't going to get enough to get a hero, but even if I did, I'd be worried, because I want to make sure whatever the next week's event card is going to be, right, we'd have a chance to get it. Let's save the smash maybe for last here. I definitely want to get to rank 20, but it's not even up to me the number of tries I get, because you can only lose 1 game per hero per episode, which is why getting one more hero or any number of heroes is that big of a deal, because then it would at least give me more of a lifeline, right? Because if you just go on a bad streak, you just lose the first 6 games, which is kind of a big deal to do, but it can be pretty annoying. So get rid of that. Or see, I almost don't even want to get rid of that, because that can be such a good game changer finisher card. So fuck it. That's sometimes what happens with low value kind of decks, is like, or even in Hearthstone, like with the hero cards, like it's such a good impactful card that you just want to have it in the course of the game. You're never going to regret having that. Amphibious imps are deadly. Let's just do that, I guess. Just don't have a ton of value in cycling. Those are the decks that kind of ruin me in this aggro mindset, or I guess even in the context of have a lot of healing, have a lot of removal, anything sort of defensive is what can screw me over. He's not playing anything, which almost would scare me. Or here we go, dude. Just play fucking Wall Knight if you want to do it like that. This guy's off to a pretty good start, actually. The bonus attack could catch him a little off guard. So all we have to do is fill up the board as much as possible, and then we're able to... He would never expect me to do this, right? Like, oh, you know, I'm going to have this board, but he's going to have all this defensive stuff. But it's not going to matter, because we'll just flip it all back up to the top. If it just flipped all plants, period, then you'd really be... Then it would be good value, even compared to stuff like the Zom boss guy, but... Or Zombot, whatever. Yeah, he would never expect me to flip that back. He wouldn't expect me to do a bonus attack here either. This is +1/+1 when you play a trick. We can use this for the deadly effect. And all I have to do there is just finish him off here, which is still a long way to go. Okay, that I do like a lot, but why the fuck would you... Why the fuck would you put it in front like that? That's the dumbest thing you could do. Guess he just didn't want the other one to die. I'm not really even bothered by that at all. Like, that's fine. You're not gonna fucking kill me with that alone. You could do a bonus attack to kill that, but I really don't want to. Summon something else big so I can afford to do the flip. I guess I'll do this just to get rid of it, but it almost doesn't seem worth it. I do love that card. Like, to me, I always say, oh, it's a legendary. I consider it to be like one of my plant legendaries just because I like it so much, but it's technically not, obviously. Okay, draw 2 is okay. Yeah, we can just play it kind of almost like play dumb and just go for that. Like, whatever you do, I'll just flip it back. So unless you heal or unless you remove my stuff, none of this is going to matter. You have to either heal or remove, so you just lose. Yeah, that card I do like, but it's more just because it does something unique that a lot of my other cards don't do. And of course, this game has such a card pool that, you know, there's only going to be 1 or 2 cards that do each function. Like, there's no other card in the game that does anything like that, I don't think, where it just flips everything back. There's stuff that obviously flips individual things back, but it makes every card sort of unique in that way, which almost is a good resistance to power creep. But again, with so few cards compared to other games, I guess that's understandable. Like, they would have a 6-cost card that does the same thing that came out a couple years later, or a 4-cost card that does something even better plus that. So it just keeps going with the value of it. This is not the greatest start here, but I feel like I rarely ever actually get value out of this guy. He's not a bad statted minion, 1 mana, 1/3, but it just doesn't end up really working. I swear, this game must have bots, because even though I like it, it's like, it almost doesn't feel like bots. Like, most of these games are still pretty satisfying, but how could it have such an incredibly active player base, even having been out for so long? It doesn't make sense. When you look at any other, like, you won't find YouTube videos on this game except by me, because I've actually been posting them. Nobody else is doing shit on this game. You won't find it on Twitch because it's always dead, unless there's like the same 3 or 4 people who do it, like Fry and, you know, some of the big streamers for it. But in general, nobody is actually doing anything. Like, whatever, I don't even know why I'm doing that. So it doesn't have enough of a following that way, but it has an incredible following in terms of actual player bases, or how passionately people like it, of course. We couldn't actually do anything there, which is a little bit unfortunate. Base Cadet thing is not really good at all. I don't know why you'd ever want that, but move a zombie, gets +1. It might be worth it to do that, I guess. Just make some use of that guy a little bit, even though we are losing damage because of it. Sometimes I'm just doing stuff just for the sake of doing it. I was expecting actually to be able to use the event card with the smash. I didn't think it would be infinity. Of course, I didn't even look at the, whatever. I don't look at the symbols and stuff because I don't really care. But either way, it is pretty good. Let's see. Yeah, I am allowed to buy event cards that way, but that's the only way I'm able to get them because I can't craft them. So I have to waste 500 gems on it. So let's see. Move a zombie, gets +1 attack. Go here. Not really the greatest use of some of these things, but they are pretty low. Okay, that fucked over that chick though because of the height. When revealed, move the zombie. Okay. Anybody who has healing just fucks me over completely though. You can tap gravestones to see which zombies are hiding in them, which really doesn't matter. You were about to see it anyway, like 5 seconds later. Okay, you're very low, but you have a lot of cards in your hand, so I have to wonder what's going to happen here. That always is a lifesaver, because your aggro attack is sort of burning out a little bit, and you just need like a little bit more. +1/+1 when you play a trick. Go ahead and play this on the height. We should be pretty much good to go. Like, wow, 4 mana, 4/4. What incredible value, but you shouldn't have to go out of your way to do that. Bullseye here is at least cute a little bit. Look at that. That's what I live for, just to clown Rose of all things, because she's just so annoying in every incarnation. She's annoying in this game. She's annoying in Garden Warfare. But on heights or environment, you get +2/+2. These two are going to kind of cuck each other a little bit, so maybe I should just do the same thing again. Right, so we're sort of playing around the minion still. Jumping bean, bounce to zombie. More like floating bean. Fuck. This healing is so degenerate, dude. Like, who does that? Either HMR or BMR every fucking episode. Bad Moon Rising or heal mid-rose, I guess. +1/+1 when goat of any kind is hurt. Yeah, you're just gonna win by attrition with all the goddamn healing that you have. Not really a surprise given the number of, you know, given the number of heals that you have, or just the number of cards that you have. Oh, fuck me, dude. We're about to see my own one of those pretty soon. I just love so much how it's a or no, wait, you're gonna get killed by the deadly aspect of it anyway. Despite how good that might have still been for you. Fucking it always gets so close, dude. By the way, against a rank 32 as well. So the ranks in this game are totally frivolous too. They don't mean anything because on average my opponent is like 10 to 15 higher ranks than me. Even though I did just play like 2 of them who are not. Like who are much lower. Actually still not technically dead. Or wait, I am. Fuck. We get to play as a smash, and then we'll see how far I can get. At least Infinity won something, but we didn't get to show off the... Whenever I get a new card that's exciting or interesting, like a legendary or something, I never get a chance to actually use it right away. Wouldn't it make more sense if that guy was playable here, or at least he's playable in both? The Franken zombie is kind of suited for, you know, suited for the smash style of play, I guess. We do have a legendary here, and we even have that like 6 mana 7/8, which is great value. I like that more than even the nurse, but obviously the nurse has a very good healing effect. So as much as I'm trash talking healing, this is exactly what I'm going to be doing here, at least a little bit. But I still should play it in a very aggro sense. I could play both of these together to get the effect. It's almost not even that great to do, but you can just ignore that for now. Surfer dude can wait. Okay, cost 0, which is just incredible. Oh shit, I can't. Fuck. I can't do it. Except the gravestone, obviously I should have done that, I guess. I mean, it's not bad to just play it as a static play either, I guess, but... -1, not really a big deal at all. That is such a shitty card, that little water balloon thing. He's at least playing very slowly, so we're getting off to a really good start. Again, this game doesn't really have much AoE. Even that thing that I bounce everything is not really an AoE that's going to clear the board, but it can still be pretty good nonetheless. He already has Frenzy, so this you could just destroy the walnut, which doesn't really seem worth it. Reveal, destroy one of their nuts or berries. It's +2/+2. I'd have to play both of those together, I guess, to make that worth it. It's not really going to be worth it. Hits you for 6. You won't absorb that, so now you're very close to dying. Destroy one of their nuts or berries is pretty good, but then again, you'll be doing that anyway because I could have done it with this. Fuck off. Healing is my one weakness, but you're still pretty damn close to dying regardless, but I can't let that Charge Lord stick around, so it's very good value to get rid of it with that. Now, you're still not dead, but you'll be pretty close. I hate the RNG mechanic built into that as well. Like, the whole thing with the fucking block meter is just dog shit, no matter what you say. Trying his best to stay alive, but my aggro is relentless here. Sumo guy. I so badly crave a team up for zombies. That should have been the next expansion they'll do if they ever update this game, like with Geometry Dash that's been updated after so long. And I just happened to play it like right around that. And I didn't know, like, that wasn't why I played it. Just like how when I was doing Hardcore Classic again this year, or a Permadeath of WoW Classic, it wasn't because, oh, it's like a hot item with the big streamers and this and that now. I had always basically done it in some form. It's just, I felt like doing another one. But no, it's like with this, they should add an expansion that gives zombies team up, and it gives like plants, okay. And it gives plants some other mechanic that only zombies have, like untrickable or something. Or I don't even know what something is. I just feel like there's not enough untrickable things in general, so I always bitch that, you know, like you don't really have enough of it, even if both could use it. Yeah, kind of switch around the mechanics a bit. So it doesn't even seem like it's saying this is like the last week for this season. I feel like it normally says it right there. If it'll say like X number of days left if it's towards the end. But whatever. Whenever you get the end of season reward, I could buy either another event card or I could buy a hero. Yeah, that was like the highest jump total I've ever had, like almost 1,000, 900 something, just to, you know, be able to do stuff like that. So now it is tempting to get another hero. Rank 37 once again. Like, I would say my cutoff should be double, right? You can give me a matchup double my rank, which is still pretty unfair and bullshit, but don't give me a matchup that's over double. Like, what am I supposed to do with that, dude? And I'm not even saying like, oh, you know, don't complain about queue times because it's so fast, but you know, there's got to be a middle ground. I understand it's a game that's probably not super popular, but it still seems to be. Like, how long would it have taken for me to find somebody who's actually around my rank if it is so active that I can find a match every 5 seconds? That always sounds like a real person's username. Data monkey. Yeah, that's fine. Nightcap is one that you see very rarely. That would have been a great play actually to do. This is the kind of identity confused deck that we have, though. A little bit of sports stuff, a little bit of pet stuff, because I don't have enough of either one, basically. Fuck off. 1 mana, 2/2 with a good effect. And amphibious. Like, that's just a power creep card outright. That turn right there should tell you you're just outclassed. +2/+2. You may as well just do it. I mean, what am I holding back for, really? I should use that stupid bowling ball thing, I guess, just to try to, you know, get rid of one of these clouds. Probably the one in the water. These two could... Oh, fuck. Don't do the 4/6. Don't do the 4/6. Don't do the 4/6. That's at least good, because it is still going to keep getting out of hand in the future here. And so now his board doesn't look as menacing. His hand looks actually kind of wimpy. But we'll see what happens. Play a couple of the mice dudes. Dino Roar. There's not going to be much I can do. Like, see, that shouldn't matter. And the reason why is because it's a situation where you're not going to... The game's not going to last long enough for that to come into play. He should just be dead, like, right now. You guys doing something anti-meta already because you know Nightcap is just garbage, or he's at least probably very selective with what you use, like, because you just never see him. He gets very upset about that. Each other plant transforms into a plant that costs 1 more. Not really that big of a deal there. Although it will actually trade into that. Or no, it won't still. But that actually kind of hurt you almost. That dino roar was starting to get a little bit annoying. That is a fun mechanic, like evolution. Yeah, the way these two are going to feed off each other is going to be excellent. This is going to be kind of dumb, but I guess you play a pet, like, I don't know. Move a plant, draw a card. What if we just don't do it? Or no, we could do it and then we could do this and then we could move it and then we could kill it. But do I even want to do that is the question. Or I could move it. Ah, fuck. Okay, he finally gets rid of that. Yeah, and it's just the synergy back and forth that makes that so incredibly valuable. Or fuck it, I'll just move it there because I don't want to deal with it. That took a lot longer of an animation than I thought it was. It gives zombies health. I could heal myself. I guess there's no reason really not to. Not really something that's too important though, because I shouldn't feel like I'm under that much threat anyway. Just probably playing with 4 or less. I mean, I'll just do it, but that could come back to bite me, I guess. Grape thing doesn't bother me too much. The grape never bothered me anyway. Oh, good, dude. I always talk this guy up, too. This is how awesome value he is, so I'd love to see what you can deal with a basic value card like that. 2/1/1's not really scary at all. Fortunately, nobody has Frenzy, but this guy alone is gonna slow pace you. That's such a badass animation for such a dinky, you know, effect. Don't get me wrong, it could add up, but it's just one, you know. You never really see the Doom Shroom in this game. I mean, those are two things that they really didn't do justice to, or at least I forget what the Doom Shroom even does. Like everything on the ground, maybe. It should just be everything, period. But in terms of the cattail, they do an injustice to because it's not nearly as good as it is in the actual game, and the fucking Doom Shroom isn't as common as you would think, considering how good it is there. So we're in a pretty good spot, but if we don't win quickly, it could become trouble, especially with all those stupid magic beanstalk things he's got going on. You just keep summoning little dinky things though, and I can't get through them. As much as I'm saying this card isn't that impressive, it is starting to irritate me a little bit. Holy shit. Wow, what a crazy combo turn. We will still kill both of those, but I guess I'm not going to get to that point. That is like one of the first OTK-esque things we've seen, really. What the fuck? Well, that was at least a suitably epic game to take down the Smash. Okay, so we got 3 plants to get 3 ranks. And let's see who's going to carry us. I guess probably Green Shadow has been typically still our best, but I feel like Wall Knight's been at least more fun lately. At the beginning, it was kind of a dry experience, but I do like what he's all about. Solar Flare has been okay on and off, but you don't really have to keep that. It's an okay curve, I guess. This is the closest to a mid-range deck that we actually have. I guess the Smash could be kind of perceived that way too, but because we don't have 1 but 2 Dark Matter Dragon Fruit, we can actually win if it gets to that point a little better than we otherwise would. So it kind of incentivizes you to drag the game out a little more so you get the chance to do that. And chances are you'll do pretty well then, but sometimes you'll still get destroyed. or my whole strategy is let me put it in the water, which will trigger people because you're missing one of the 3 attacks with it, like, you know, one of the lanes. But it's okay because you're increasing their trick cost by 6 forever, and then it's harder to get to it, right? They're not going to have something amphibious, so, or at least not that that's as strong. So if their only hope is to trade onto the board, and they can't put anything in the water that's good enough, and they also can't use tricks on it, then they're just kind of fucked. Whereas if you put it on land, then obviously they can just trade into it a lot easier. Okay, untrickable is cute. I guess you could really justify doing this, or you could do that. Zombies here at night. Whenever I see a chick with a fucking umbrella or whatever, I think of that clown Dahlia Hawthorne, or even the, when I said, like, from Phoenix Wright, what's the guy's name? Wellington and Dahlia had a baby, and her name was whatever the chick is in the first case of that fucking whatever game, the Great Ace Attorney. Doesn't matter whether you're untrickable, I'm still gonna blast you with that. Okay, who needs Torchwood when you have these? Like, would these not be affected by it then? Is it getting hot, or is it just me? Okay, good one. I don't mind making that double attack, but there's nothing else to play on top of it, so let's just do that and just leave it then. Yeah, untrickable is typically my favorite mechanic in any card game. Just like anti-spell, you know, can't be targeted by spells or hero powers, or even something like hexproof in Magic. I guess the name hexproof didn't really jump out at me. Like, I didn't realize even at first that that would be... You could do this and just kill it with... No, you wouldn't even be able to, though. +1/+1 when you play a plant. And so we may as well just go for that. +1 for the rest of the game. Like, he's playing very slow, but I would love to get a card like this, which is not an event card, actually. 4 mana, 3/6 isn't too bad of a value in and of itself. He's very close to death. Maybe I underestimate how good that double attack thing can be, because I don't even like that environment. I just have it because it's good to override other people's environments, I suppose, but... You could move a zombie, might not really do too much for you. If I do the 3 and the 3, it's not really going to do anything, right? You know, I should really just bounce something. Wouldn't be a bad idea. Yeah, let's do it like this. And then we'll bounce that sucker. We basically get to guarantee lethal in 2 ways here. And so none of that should really matter. You can play zombies when it's time for tricks, which could be a little bit annoying, but the double attack should pretty much guarantee it. Here. Unless you have a heal or something. People really like that card, which I forget. What is it even called? Dr. Space Time. Okay, just carry me like you always do, Green Shadow, please. Wouldn't take that many wins. Rank 3, but you can't judge it by that. We have lost some really weird matchups like that, as much as I make fun. Like, oh, keep Dark Matter Dragon Fruit, even though we have 2, so I really shouldn't do that. This is an okay sort of curve start, but maybe not. 1, 2, 3. Nice little buff, but that's typically only good for the 3-peater. As like a turn 6 play, you can just play a 3/7 3-peater. That's what was carrying me at the beginning of the playthrough. One of my favorite interactions at that point, because it's really all I had, but at least off the other classes and stuff, I found it to be very good. You might say you should probably do that, but just for the sake of the curve, I'll just do this. Or I could have done it and buffed like the other one, and that would have actually saved it from that. Whatever, we're still getting damage in. I think you could have chosen Rust Bolt as one of your starting heroes, right? And so maybe people were mad at me that I didn't do that, but I kind of just chose them without looking at what people said, except for Solar Flare, because they could not contain their love for Solar Flare, so they had to just tell me that out of the gate. While in your hand gets +1/+1 when playing against strength or health, which is obviously the whole point of this deck. It's -3, which is still okay. You shouldn't go too far out of your way to do anything with that. You could do this and you could do the buff. Or you could just do that as a good static value play. Our board is already pretty formidable. Yeah, see, at the beginning, I was sort of, or maybe a little bit after I started playing this game, I stopped. I started off trying to play aggro. Then I kept getting cucked by the block meter, so I gave up. But then I realized, like, oh, it's not because of the block meter. It's more just because my cards and deck aren't good enough. So then when it came time where my decks were at least a little better, which they're still not even that good, but then I realized, like, okay, I should still play aggro and just deal with the block meter. Because I was trying to play like this weird mid-rangey style, like, oh, I'll win on the board, I'll win on value, but you obviously can't do that either, because even if it doesn't work, your best chance to win is to play aggro, and so it is what it is. Like, you just have to deal with that. Now I'm going to try to play too cute with this guy, just like, you know, oh, we're not going to fucking whatever, just... This would be kind of a dumb thing to flip the 3-3. I don't really give a shit about that. Dark Matter Dragon Fruit could be incoming. 5 mana 6/6 is not really... Like, it takes too much work. You have to do it twice just to get it to base value, so you're not really going to get too much extra value out of it. It really doesn't even seem worth it. You know, we'll just hold off and buff... You know, waste another turn and buff it again, but I really shouldn't. Yeah, I will unironically put it in the water if we get the Dark Matter Dragon Fruit, just because we're at least in a decent position. It feels so much more dominating there because it's so hard to get rid of that. And they would never expect that I would have 2 of them, but I think we've even played 2 of them in the same game, maybe even at the same time. But the pace of this game is such that even getting to turn 8 where you can comfortably do that is pretty rare. Right? Not that it doesn't go past turn 8, it's that once you get there, you're pretty much screwed sometimes. Like, you know, there's too much pressure, so you'll die before you get to do anything with it. I'm against +5. I'm not really worried about dying, but maybe I should be. I hear you like playing tricks, so we're... Oh, no, I thought it was already turn 7. What the fuck? This might be the only clutch way that you could... Yeah, this is what I mean. See, like, we'll lose before we even get to... We'll lose before we even get to do anything. Play the Dark Matter Dragon Fruit. Like, it's literally only turn 7. It's still better than Marvel Snap. That still won't kill me, though, because you're still dead. That's a random zombie. That shouldn't really matter too much, but I mean, we're going to get the bonus attack anyway. Yeah, this card is not that good. Like, it seems obviously it's winning me the game there, but it takes so much effort to even get it to base value of like a 5/5 that this obviously is the perfect kind of deck for it, though, of course. Rank 18. I mean, we are sort of playing for my life here to get to rank 20. Not that there's any real failure state, but no reason why I shouldn't be able to do it. But all it takes is 1 or 2 bad games here. So 2, 5, 8. Yeah, and this card I've been clowning a lot. Like, I just never get a chance to use it somehow. Because imagine, like, you would put the Dark Matter Dragon Fruit out, and then you would do that too. So it's 2 8-mana plays in a row. Like, it's way too slow. Or use it on the 3-peater is obviously better. But it's very, very tough. Yeah, I think I was looking at... I can't remember what heroes I was actually considering getting. Everybody loves Chomzilla. Everybody loves Rustbolt. I think I set a rule, though, last time. Like, I have to have at least 1 legendary with the class. Or with one of... I have to have a legendary with both of the class types that they're a part of, right? Like solar and stuff. In order to basically, fuck. Who's zombies to this lane? I mean, it doesn't really matter, but you're not going to kill it, unfortunately. This is where you'd rather this one just be the fire one. To just, you know, why would you want to worry about this? Or I guess you could have set it up to be killed with that, but it shouldn't really matter too much. Go ahead and do that. We get the Dark Matter Dragon Fruit again, which is not really that surprising to get. But can you believe this game has more turns than Marvel Snap? It has more cards than Hearthstone. Like, you wouldn't think it. Like, oh, this is supposed to be a casual mobile type of game, but not saying card count alone in a deck makes a card game good or bad, but Hearthstone having 30 is actually pretty surprising and weird, even when you think about it. Just, it would reflect pretty badly on it if you heard that, like, oh, this must be a brain dead thing. But okay, this is kind of a tough spot to be in. You could do like this. I don't really like the way this is actually going, but he's only ranked 21, but he's gotten off to an exceptional start here. And there might be almost nothing that can save me. Even the Dark Matter Dragon Fruit, the way the pace of this game is going, is not really going to do much for me. At least the Cattail should be able to trade in there, but who knows what's going to happen. All these buffs are going to synergize. Like, it's good with stuff like this. It's just an ongoing effect, but he's not going to really let you do that, is he? And I don't have the luxury to wait for this either. Just go for it. And you might think, oh, some of these plays will be better later, but there is no later, because if you don't win now, there's no point. You'd rather lose early and just know it than to try to pretend like you're gonna drag the game out to your benefit. It's just not going to happen. If you leave this around, it could be trouble, though, and he had a good advantage in his hand size, but now it's sort of burnt out. We're always just like 1 or 2 mana short of being able to play this actually comfortably. Now, this is a very bad play because there's really nothing I can do. Right, these are just both a waste, but I like all the different personality that the Gargantuars have. There's so many weird ones that obviously just them extrapolating, nothing from the games. Or maybe PvZ 2 is just that crazy of a game that it has all this kind of wild shit in it. This is tough because you really can't do anything at all to him. This guy's obviously very annoying. Mad Chemist. Could Dark Matter Dragon Fruit even save me now? And the answer is probably not. That's the sad part about it. Even if I don't see what the thing is. You could do it here and kill 2 of them. You could do it here and kill that. There's no ideal spot to really put it that's going to, you know, that's going to take care of enough stuff to make it worth my while. Give it a buff, which doesn't even really matter. Or that would have worked out perfectly if I, you know, had known I was going to get that. Then I could have killed that too, I guess. Fuck me. Imagine if I had done that and won because of it, but it didn't seem like I was going to win. Okay, he did good, though, still. So let's see if Solar Flare can help us. We'll save the Wall Knight, I guess, for last. Yeah, this is just pure aggro mindlessness, but it'd be really shameful if I couldn't even get to rank 20 before the end of the month. But somehow, it doesn't seem like the end of the month is really even the end of the season. I don't really get fully how that works sometimes. They'll end in weird parts of the month. Like, sometimes in the middle, sometimes right before the month ends, but not actually when it ends. That really pissed me off in Pokemon TCG Live. That's almost the most pissed I've been since coming back to streaming. Like, because I only had a little bit of time that day, and I was banking on doing, like, a challenge where, oh, I have to get to rank 500, you know, whatever, which wasn't that big of a deal, but I thought that I was going in under the impression of, you know, I was at, like, 300 or something, so I just have to get from 300 to 500 or 400 to 500, and then I go in and then I'm back to like 100 or 200 because the season reset randomly, like right before the end of the month. Of course, I should have known that by then from having played it before, but Let's just do that. Go face. Yeah, that was still a kind of a costly turn. Or she was the one who was on the chop last time, maybe, that I maybe considered getting. I like the way that Neptuna looks, like in the little fishbowl and stuff. The whole aesthetic on some of these is pretty cool. And of course, there's 2 heroes that you can't even get at all. That's like the most recent legendary I got. You can play zombies on time for tricks. I don't know if I even really care about that too much, but I guess I may as well just do it. Make zombats how coronavirus started, am I right? Ha ha ha. When a plant gets hurt, draw a card. Yeah, we do have some like vague healing synergy stuff, but it's not really something I'm playing into. I just happen to have it. This is okay, but again, it's almost something you have to support a bit. It's not a bad card, but just because something's legendary doesn't mean it's automatically great. I would have loved to have seen in a lot of these card games I played like some sort of draft arena type mode. This game would be perfect for a draft mode. There's probably some mod that allows you to do it. Like you go into a set of cards and just open packs for a temporary usage and just fucking make the best of what you get. And so that makes it more a level playing field because you're not playing with your collection with fixed metagame decks. You're just kind of being offered random stuff and you choose between it and then see what you can do. That's good in almost every game as a mode. People were trying to fight it when I said that in Pokemon, like, oh, how would it work with evolution and stuff? But maybe you could be guaranteed a set of evolution things or something, but at least that wouldn't be the core focus of what the mode is about for sure. That would be excellent if I could do it, but nothing is going to have team up here, so you really won't be able to do it. Make him the center of attention, at least. That reminds me of like the orb for the Winged Dragon of Ra or something. Somehow. Everything is a Yu-Gi-Oh reference. Plants and plant hero can't be healed, so would he really... Oh, fuck. You're obviously going to win because my value is just sort of burnt out. Solar Flare is burnt out. Just, we don't have enough to really deal with this. You may as well just... you know, get rid of this too. 3 or less. This would just be anything, which is not really a bad value card, but you know, generally this is probably worth the 1 extra mana. Yeah, she just has too much removal, almost to the point where she's using 2 pieces of removal to kill 1 thing at times, and she's still getting away with it. That means Wall Knight is gonna have to single-handedly carry me here. Whatever. If we do get the end of season rewards for next time, then we will at least have the ability to get a hero, assuming I want to. But I guess that was a big decision to make today. I just spent 500 fucking gems on a dinky, you know, 5 mana, whatever, the Frankenstein zombie, which is cool, but just give me Bad Moon Rising next week, like for Halloween, even though, you know, technically you should have done it this week then. Get rid of that. In a really bad spot. Like, you're in a point where it's almost mathematically impossible. And I was just saying that in PvZ hard mode. Like, somehow those mini games are scripted in a bullshit way. But you get in a situation like here, I can't win this game because they just have too many cards and too much value. Yeah, like, look at this kind of shit, dude. Yeah, compare this to, like, that 7 cost thing that flips everything back on the ground. Why flip it back when you could just kill it? I could just kill that, so it's actually not that big of a deal. It's just each other plant is not even going to do anything then. Yeah, this would be where control decks are actually fun to play in a game. What the fuck, dude? Didn't even matter much, but I can't even say like, oh, you have 2 legendaries, that's why you're winning, because I just lost to the deck with 2 legendaries too. The fucking same You know, dark matter dragon fruit on an average level, I would say it's probably even better. Well, I don't know about that, actually. That card is pretty sick. Okay, last hero. We got 2 ranks to go through, unfortunately. So am I going to regress from the last 2 months I've gotten to gold? I guess I've been playing this game for maybe like 5 months because I'm up to like episode probably 20 if I was to count it on YouTube, which is kind of hard to believe, but I guess given the length of them, it's not really that crazy. This is okay. I tend to never get a ton of value out of that. I just get some easy matchups. He is only rank 10, so I guess I can't complain. Then I'll lose to like a rank 3, and you're not going to know the difference somehow. But yeah, this game will be super popular in China or something because that's why mobile games are such a craze, like because of public transit in China. That's a big part of the reason why. Chinese public transit ruined the gaming world. Like, just people have nothing to do, or they're, you know, because you live so far from your work, so you have to take a train to get to work, go in the city because it's so overpopulated that everybody, whatever. Like, you get the point behind it, but basically, because of that mass public transit and they're on trains for long periods of time to and from work, they're kind of on their phone playing games. And so mobile games are best suited for that. So you can certainly understand that's what the Nintendo Switch was even marketing on. I guess you wouldn't really think of it like that, but it makes a pretty good amount of sense. We can always play the Pineapple later, right? We're still in a good shape here. Kind of overwhelm him. Shove my nuts right in his face right from the beginning. That's not too big of a deal. Yeah, this Pineapple play should be really strong. I could do the water chestnut even with it too. Oh fuck, oh fuck. Whoops. Now if I lose because of that, that would be a shocking development. Or there might be some strategic reason why I did that, but of course not. Okay, we'll lose the 4-1 then, deal 2 damage, fine. But yeah, it's just because I have another Pineapple, so I'm trying to not make that one a target, but it doesn't really matter. Whatever, we have another walnut, we have another Pineapple, holy shit. It would be worth it even to do that. Like, who cares about the, you know, the 1 damage isn't going to make that much of a difference that we take. Deal 4 damage. Like, look how overwhelming this is, but at some point we are going to run out. But he is using a lot of shit. You know, his hand is burnt out from dealing with all this. You're just losing the little dinky nuts, but I do love this playstyle. Like, we're playing aggro fucking Wall Knight, which is not exactly what I intend to do, but if it works, as Anakin would say about being about dictatorships, you could do it again and do another Pineapple. Why even worry about it? Go here, go here. Just absolutely overwhelm you, and if you can deal with it, then more power to you. You certainly have a lot of cards in your hand. They're not very high value ones at this stage. These environments could become very annoying too, but yeah, I was in like a weird spot where like I almost preferred playing this game over Yu-Gi-Oh, which you would never think, as much as I'm a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh historically, but just because of the modern state and how it forced you to play a synchro type dog shit with like Master Duel or to an extent Duel Links, or like, oh, it's better than fucking Marvel Snap because that ends in 6 turns and stuff. I was rooting for it because of Ben Brode, but those 2 games alienated me enough to try something like this. Or I guess I would have tried it anyway, just as a one-off thing, just to, you know, like for my Saturday format where I try stuff that's about to go offline or something. But that was almost the premise of when it started. But we're certainly milking it for all it's worth in terms of we're milking it for all it's worth, even if it was about to go offline. Come on, please just let me have this, dude. We got off to actually an incredible start, but it's not going to be enough still somehow. Fuck. Well, that's fine. That's fine, because you could be dead before that happens. 5, 6, 7, 8. So close, dude. He's gonna fucking heal or get some crazy shit to play. We can at least replace one of these environments. That's not too big of a deal, but he has all the brains in the world, so we'll have to just see what he can do about it. Okay, I can use an environment at least to get rid of some of this stuff, but I should have done that one actually, because I'm doing that just for the card draw to see if we get something that actually helps us with the lethal here, which this won't have actually. Or no, okay, never mind. For some reason I thought that would do it to mine too. The strike through should be pretty good, if nothing else. No, it won't matter because you'd have hit it anyway. Into a new one that costs one more, which shouldn't really come into play now. Oh, fuck. 4, 3, 4, 6, 6, 5. My health situation is at least so good that we could really drag this out, but I don't think he's really going to relent now. A lot of the time I lose in positions like this though too. Not where I play Bad Moon Rising, obviously, because I don't have it. But just the idea that you're able to are you fucking serious, dude? Here and next door are untrickable. Problem is you're not going to end up being able to do enough damage. Your hero's health can't go below 1. But at least we can fucking pop the block meter now. What a perfect thing to get, though, for that purpose. You gotta be kidding me with some of this dumb shit that I see from the... fucking Bad Moon Rising. Like, it's such an important, necessary card. So if it's premium pack, growing your team's... Why is it saying that? Like, guaranteed rare or better. That's just a regular pack, right? That we always get. So we actually failed. It's rubbing in my face. Like, you need better cards or you suck so bad. You have to get carried. You couldn't even get to rank 20 this month, assuming that the end of the month actually signals whatever, the end of the season. Yeah, this would be the first time in like the last 3 months that I didn't get it, which is surprising. At least we got close, I guess. Yeah, we did get that, which is kind of cool. I guess I could get it again, but there's no reason to do that. Yeah, my dream come true would be if next week we get the fucking Bad Moon Rising, of course, as we lose to it as well in our last game here this time. And also the hero is sort of imminent, but we'll have to see kind of... I always want to have a reserve, so even if I was to do that, I won't have enough for both. You know, I almost had enough for both today, right? Because like I could almost get the hero now. I have 500 out of like 750 when I already just bought that for 500, so kind of been rolling in gems the last couple episodes. Yeah, let me look at the top end quality of some of these decks again, just because like it's just important to have kind of more high cost things than what I do, but I guess I can't control it. Like, yeah, see, my highest costing there is 6, and that's not just by choice. Like, we really just don't have anything there. Again, even if you're like, oh yeah, I want to play a control deck, you can't because you don't have the cards to do it. Also, here, highest cost is 6. You can't do dick all with any of this. Obviously, here you can't complain because you have the double Dark Matter Dragon Fruit. But even beyond that, you don't have anything higher than 5, right? So that's a rare exception, and most of the high cost cards are going to be legendaries. There's just a bias towards that, right? The higher cost something is, it tends to be like much higher value and much crazier in a game like this that doesn't have too many high cost cards. This guy is actually fine because he has, you know, those two combined are pretty good. I mean, I guess it's still not enough of them, but you do at least have a couple of things. This guy's obviously garbage. I even have another one, but I'm just not choosing to use him. And here you have 5, 5, 7, and of course that card has come in handy a lot. But that can single-handedly win you the game because they just wouldn't expect it, or there's not really anything you can do about it. Right, like you're presenting lethal and you just flip them up and they can't do dick all to you. So also here, you know, we got that. So at least between all these we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But again, this guy's not very good value. The rest are kind of okay. He's actually the best value one out of all of them. This base value, the whole thing when a zombie's destroyed is not that big of a deal, but that does at least discourage you from destroying all the aggro shit that I'm going to put out there, you know, normally anyway. Yeah, doesn't it normally tell you like when a season ends? That's just the weekly event, but I guess maybe it won't end for some reason. Yeah, we'll only get 150, which is unfortunate. 200 here. League, rank, or maybe you get that. I always forget. You get that when you first get into it or at the end of the month. I guess you get it when you get into it, and then at the end of the month, you get something else too. Now, we won't start with a handicap of the 5. I'm just assuming it's the end of the season, but it doesn't actually show me anywhere. Yeah, some of these matchups, to be fair, are pretty lopsided. Like, we've been seeing that a lot, where we're playing people not just like 5 ranks higher, 10 ranks higher, and it goes both ways, because sometimes you'll play people who are rank 3 and rank 9 or whatever, like we were doing. But basically, we're playing people like over double our rank, which can be bullshit a lot of the time.